All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Residents of Evil podcast. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening. I am joined by the wonderful Andi Norris and Paula Rhodes. As you know them, Donna and Angie from Resident Evil 8 Village. Awesome, by the way, two of my favorite characters.
Yay.
Angie makes me laugh every time because I know
What?
your personality and your laugh. I could just imagine you eating up how much fun this role was. So
It was quite fun. Yes. One can border on frightening people / making them laugh. It's a good zone to live in.
right, and the behind the scenes stuff of you and Jesse in the church is probably my favorite thing. Your little happy dance.
That was a fun day.
Yeah. And Andi, you're just now stepping into this bigger picture of Resident Evil. How's it feel? Welcome to the franchise.
Good. I'm so excited and I'm so honored to be part of this now. Yeah, it's a whirlwind. I mean, as you know, I've worked on a bunch of games before this, but nothing with this sort of this level of notoriety or fan base. And it's very like, I'm just so like, thanks to everyone who brought me in. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, it's a good place to wind up for sure. Not only that, you also voiced Tundra.
I did also voice Tundra.
One of the part of the Wolfhound squad, so maybe there's something in the future for that, since Donna's kind of out of the picture at this point.
Yeah, Donna is sort of a little bit.
Is anybody ever really out of the picture?
No.
That's actually Evelyn asking.
Yeah, Evelyn's back. I was about to say, not really. I'm wondering if Evelyn might show up in a future, because we have this feeling that there's something about the mold being caught in like this purgatory realm. Like, you know, you had with Jack and Zoe and Seven, and then in this one, Ethan sees Evelyn again, and now Rose in the future. Is she gonna have time? It's good. I'm really excited to see where that goes.
You and me both, sir. In fact, Capcom, if we could just talk to you, we have a great pitch just for a few minutes.
We'll just throw it out there. You know, if you like it, take it. If you don't like it, take it anyways. If you guys are in the chat, if you're watching, make sure you ask questions. I'm gonna try and throw those in. I think, are we all pretty much watching the chat right now too?
Oh yes, I have it pulled up here.
So
I have it pulled up. I'm not great at multitasking.
Yeah.
So
we're all kind of keeping an eye on it. So make sure you throw your questions out, and we'll jump into it. So Paula, when did you find out that they were bringing you back?
I didn't find out they were bringing me back as Evelyn until after we were already shooting for about a year, and then it was a surprise scene.
Wow.
Because we never get the whole script.
Right. They give you
in advance. You get it piecemeal. And what a scene! That was like, exciting. Let's do this. And it was during COVID. So the beautiful part of motion capture is that it was doable with a lot of social distancing. So even though Todd was there to film with me as Ethan, he's like 30 feet away because you can squish that, right?
Right.
And all of the amazing crew were mostly in Japan because there was no travel at the time. And they were able to link in with iPads, probably in the middle of the night for them, and have like robots tell us how to bring the iPad closer and give us direction that way. I felt very like we were living in the future. And just the amazing producer, Rosanna Sun, like kept us all safe, and we had more safety protocols than anywhere else I'd seen or been. So it was fantastic. But for Angie, I found out, I guess the year before, we all got to audition theater style, like mix and match for a lot of the sisters and stuff. And I'm still mad that they didn't even let me read for Lady D, but at all of 5 feet. But we got to read for all the other stuff. And initially, I think I read for, they were having Donna and Angie be like split personality, one actor try it. But then, and they hadn't even really, at the time, it didn't seem like they were considering different ones. And I knew I didn't get Donna. So I figured I just hadn't booked any of those after a week or so, and then got the call that I was coming in to be Angie. And I was like,
this is so interesting. I want to say something because I had the opposite experience. When I got the audition, they were like, no, we're casting separate. And I actually went in and I was like, I'm audition for both anyway. And so I did a split personality, even though they told me like, I'm sure they had probably already cast you.
I don't know. It was a while.
No, that was hands down one of the best auditions I've ever done because it was so fun to do the split.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And you know, that it makes sense because that's the character. you know, it's Donna doesn't say a whole lot because Donna is projected through Angie.
Right.
So yeah, so it's interesting you try to go in and give it both, and that would have been an interesting way to approach the role as well.
Yeah, but
yeah.
nothing compared to what Paula did.
Paula's great at
I
playing
was
these
doing
evil
one of
little
those things where you
characters.
just do too much and figure they'll pull you back. And
I never did.
yes, you didn't pull me back too much. So it's just she's just a lot.
Yeah. I've got a couple super chats. Let me hit these real quick because if I don't, they'll go away and I'll end up forgetting about them or lose them. Proxy One Creations, thanks Prox, we love you. Throwing us out there. Donna and Angie are the best characters.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Although somebody disagrees and says Nicole is, and you know she is pretty darn rad.
Nicole's
Nicole
awesome. Yeah. To go from playing, you know, one of the biggest heroines in the series to playing a evil little witch bug vampire.
Oh man, it's such a fun sandbox to play in. So we're all super grateful to, especially to get to redabble. Tell you what.
and kind of stretch your wings and play different sides of the spectrum versus hero to villain. It's pretty cool. And then Chris Redfield says Angie gives Chucky a run for his money.
Ooh.
Yeah. Definitely up there. Definitely up there.
And I took his lunch money and then I locked him in the closet.
So, Andy, when did you find out about this part? And then when did you said when you kind of, you know, Sarah as well, and Sarah was working with some of the casting assistants and stuff. Was she there when you were doing your auditions?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Sarah was there. Like I said, I know Sarah from when I lived back up in Seattle.
Right.
And she and I kind of lost touch, and I was down in LA, and I think she was following me on Instagram and saw how much I was working in mocap, and she was like, "Hey, come in for this." So I was like, "Okay, sure." Yeah, that was the first, and then I did the initial audition. I did a callback where we got to play. Remember, Paula? We were doing the roundhouse of sisters. Yeah, so that was a really fun day, and then I think it was a few months.
It was a bit.
It was at least a month before I found out.
I feel like, yeah, compared to my for Biohazard, I found out, you know, on the way home.
Right.
So I kind of figured that they just moved fast, and having not heard for a while, I was like, oh, dang it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
Aaron Eram has a question. How did you prepare for the roles, both Donna and Angie? I guess for Donna, Andy, what did you do to kind of get in that mindset for playing your character, and then we'll jump into Paula for Angie.
This was really interesting because Donna's story is really sad.
It's very sad.
And you know, as much as I'm such like a bubbly personality, I'm very in touch with that dark side of that, like the deep loss and the sort of I can't speak to people.
Right.
I'm secretly an introvert, and not so secret anymore. But so kind of I tapped a lot into that, and just the tragedy of losing everything, and from a place where you already can't talk to people. So there's no one but Angie.
Right.
For Donna.
Which is true.
So,
it's a character that how many lines did you have total? You think maybe 5?
Less. And when I started, when I did the performance capture, she didn't have lines.
Oh wow, okay. So that was added post ADR.
That was added post, yeah.
Okay.
But very, very physical.
Yeah.
Because they had her on for all the different mocap, and were you doing lichens and things too?
I was gonna say,
I did lichens, I did stunts.
Did like all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I did Tundra.
You've got a good background in stunt performance, and like you said, mocap, some theater work in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in theater. That's pretty much where it all started.
The physicality is definitely there.
Yeah.
And then for Paula, Angie, I mean, you do the smaller characters with small voices very well. But
Weird,
Angie's like they said, Angie's basically the Chucky of the Resident Evil universe right now.
She's a vessel, yeah, for sure. To all of the parts that Donna's having to repress. It's just that split of the ego. So it's just a total lack of inhibition to go in and play. So I sacrificed a lot of dolls and on the altar. I'm kidding. I don't. motion capture is such a wonderful, fun arena to play in that the amount of imagination that you get to employ is so great. And because you're lacking that extra magic of wardrobe and makeup and things that makes just your human side of your actor just lock in, you're having to rely so much more on just the sense memory and imagination stuff. So once you actually commit to that, it's fantastic. To play in that realm. So I think she must have been already kind of lurking inside me, a small evil child and dolls,
Yeah.
is part of me.
Andi, did you when you auditioned, did you know you were going to get 2 parts, or were you just going in for
No,
Donna and then they'll get you up with Tundra later?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I got pulled in the midst of COVID to do the performance capture for Tundra.
Okay.
And then called back later to do the voice.
Oh, cool. Oh, all right. So they brought you first for mocap, and then they said, okay, we'll have you.
Yeah.
Did they know they were doing your voice as well at the same time, or was that just an afterthought for them?
I didn't know. I couldn't tell you what they had in mind. Yeah, no, I couldn't answer that. I don't know.
It's cool though that like, yeah, the physicality, you did the creature work, you did Donna, a lot of the stunt work, but then to be recalled back for another character is always a blessing, and especially one that survives the situation. So like I was saying, hopefully Tundra is a character that comes back in the future, so we get to bring you back in.
Yeah, I hope so. And it was fun to kind of use some of my tactical training because I'm all of 1.5 inches taller than Paula. They don't cast me. Yes. They don't cast a lot of us as soldiers in other games, so that was actually really fun to use some of that training and be like, I get to be a badass.
Did you train for soldier for like military stuff too?
Yeah, I've got tactical training.
Nice. What's that like, doing tactical training? Who do you work with for that kind of stuff?
Well, segue. I actually help run a motion capture school, so we train all of these special skills like tactical and swords and magic and creatures. So I've trained with our tactical instructors, Brandon Elmore. He's a Marine vet and an Army vet. Oh, I hope I got that right.
Who's your magical instructor?
TJ Storm.
Oh, okay. Because I just want him to actually.
Yeah, he's the owner of the school.
Yeah.
That sounds like, if his last name's his name's TJ Storm, it sounds like he might be an actual wizard. So I've heard.
I mean, he is kind of a wizard.
Good.
Nice.
I just want to see him practicing in the mirror of like spell casting, like I do.
How is that running the school, working, teaching people what you do?
It's really cool. It's actually really fun to see the next group of people who are interested in this, who want to be action actors, who want to do both of the acting side and the action side and kind of marry the two. A lot of people are really excited. Mocap's kind of where everything is going right now, and
for sure.
It's very exciting to see our tribe members. It's called Mind's Eye Tribe, so we call them all tribe members.
Okay.
To see them advance in their skills and just get so into it, it's very cool.
Yeah.
And I don't do. I'm not a primary teacher there. I'm an assistant, but yeah, it's marvelous.
You work with some awesome people. You mentioned earlier that you've been kind of having Terrence Rotolo, who's come and done some work. And for people who are fans of Capcom, Terrence is Frank West. He's also William Birkin for a long time. He's played Birkin. So Terrence, we love Terrence. He's part of the Resident Evil family for us. If he ever sees us, hi TJ. I saw a good question up here from the Decastar. During the meeting scene, when we see Andy's face change, I think that Andi, that's talking about Donna. Okay, changed after he's awake. There's a little smile. Was Donna enjoying the possible future or torture of Ethan? By the way, we love your characters because of you. Yeah, was there any kind of motivations behind that, like directing wise from Steve?
No, I think that was just one of those in the moment things. Yeah. There wasn't. I'm trying to remember. I don't think when I did a lot of the performance capture for Donna, because you don't see her face so much, I don't think I did a lot of the face cam.
Okay, right.
I did for something I did for Tundra, and I think she's got the helmet on.
Yeah, she wears the helmet.
I actually did facial capture for Tundra.
Yeah, they're still taping
Maybe they were
and
just
stuff.
like, Andi, Put your face over there.
No.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. No, but you know, they do have the reference cameras up there. So I do remember that moment and being like,
yeah,
like there's a little bit of, yeah, I don't know if it's a thrill at the idea of torture, but when you're so secluded and suddenly you have some power, there is a sense of like, oh,
yeah,
I'm not the bottom of the barrel.
Right. This guy's the bottom now.
That guy can be the bottom.
Right. This guy's gonna get all the crap.
Which is how bullies are made. Yes.
What? Me, a bully?
No, just deliciously getting to savor something that's been dished at you for so long.
Paula, where did you find your voice for Angie? It's not too far off of your natural voice, but you just get a little more evil in there.
There's definitely some more rasp and a little bit higher, and a lot more energy. It was playing with it, and Steve kind of had a vision for where he wanted it to land, and we just played the first day or so, just trying all sorts of things. Like lower, younger, eviler, and we'd add all these flavors in until we landed on it, and then he was like, yes, that one, do that, and then it was just a matter of locking it in to the visual that I had of her in my mind based on, I think, early sketches. And then she just kind of exploded out of me, which sometimes they do. Once you kind of lock into that character, it just comes out. The laugh was fun to really land on a couple of the different laughs. So with all of Capcom.
Yeah, the laugh is great.
Because we did a number of them and they'd be like, oh yes, that was good. Can you do even more wicked? Yeah. And we just kept dialing it up until like, I don't know, just for funsies, let's see what else you can do. And eventually I think we just came up with some of those that are really just bonkers fun. But and then they made it in the game.
Every time Angie laughs, I laugh. I can't help it. It's just awesome. You look like you had a blast in the part. Just really getting into it, having a good time, being crazy with it.
I mean, in on-camera acting, it's amazing and freeing and wonderful in other ways. But with voiceover and with motion capture, you get this whole extra experience of stretching and being able to do just a little bit outside of what your instrument gives you.
Right.
So you can be a pretzel and a princess and a goblin, and it's playing. It's so fun.
Insane Humor wants to know, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Capcom put out a puppet show.
Oh, heck yes, they did.
You've seen it?
Of course we've seen it.
Andy, did you see it?
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh,
I will tag you in it. I got tagged
yes,
please. Early on.
I mean, I may have, but like I said, I don't understand Twitter. Someone please explain it to me.
So Andy, as Donna is a puppeteer, puppet maker, my theory, and I think some people playing with it, is that she made
wait, hold on. Donna makes puppets?
So
they really should give us
literally
the script for this stuff.
Puppet versions of all of our characters.
Oh,
so they're like,
okay. I have seen it.
You have seen it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's adorable, and I'm working on making something.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That'd be
I
awesome.
want to know more about that.
Those would sell. I'd buy Resident Evil 8 Village puppets for sure.
If I can make it, I mean, granted, I do get a little overboard when I actually try to craft things, but I'll probably keep it to something like buttons or stickers or something cool for this. But yes. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm like, I want to make an Angie doll.
We've got a $5 super chat from James Reiner. Says, just want to say that the segments in the House Beneviento were amazing. Y'all did an amazing job. Truly a memorable segment in all of Resident Evil. And I agree, because that's it's such a different feel from the rest of the game. Each boss had its own kind of feel to that area. But when you get to the House Beneviento, it's you're no weapons. It's like an escape room. A very twisted escape room with a very evil little doll yelling at you the whole time.
They leaned into the thrilling and the old chill factors, which I love.
And the conclusion about the giant, baby chasing you, which is pretty amazing and scary at the same time.
Is it? I mean, how many of those flowers were you around? I don't know.
Quite a few. They were all over the place. You were saying beforehand, before we went live here, that may have been an amalgamation of all the different voices, that you guys were kind of recording some of those stuff and they may have combined them.
I don't know. And I should definitely caveat that. But
we're not sure.
But we all, when you're in the booth, you also, for all the various characters, different little dolls and things. Like I know Sarah did a voice of one of the dolls. I did a voice of one of the dolls that you know, come at you.
Oh yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
friends. So they'll have you try different things. Like, by the way, how's your werewolf growl, and how's this? And you'll just do a couple to try. And so I know they had us try baby cries, and so we did quite a few of, you know, just the regular like when you actually go into full on newborn cries. And listening to it in the game, I had a feeling, and I'm guessing, but sound design wise, it sounds a little like an amalgamation of a couple of us and like some sound tweaking. So that would be really cool if it is somehow like our voices had a baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No longer a boss baby. Now it's just a voice baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool that everyone was. There's a lot that were pulled in to do voices of the extra dolls in that last scene when you're chasing down Angie, and you can, if you listen, you can pick up people's, you know, the different people's voices of everyone.
Yeah.
You know, it was really a lot of fun. And
they're fun little Easter eggs, but also easy because they already have us in the booth for something. So
yeah, you were also the little girl with you and Sarah at the end, right?
Yeah, that was fun. And I think at the time they weren't sure if it was a little boy or a little girl, so I was really skirting the edge of like, I don't know, it kind of sounds the same about this age. And she looks rather similar to me, although I had blonde hair, but I definitely had big glasses. So I love that they added those to the character at the little button at the end of the game. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I got to be Sarah's daughter again.
Again, right?
On the bus.
Andy, for the stunt work in this, was there anything like major stunts that you recall that were challenging, or did you take any nasty bumps?
Mine were not particularly challenging. There were some fun ones, like I had to do, it's not really considered a high fall in stunts, but I did have to do like a fall back from probably 8 feet high.
That
sounds high.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, but it's not like really, I mean, there's a definition of high falls in stunts, and 8
What
feet
is the
not
definition
really
of high falls?
I think 10 feet is the lowest you would consider a high fall, but
We can round up. 8 can be like almost
close.
10.
It's close. It was 10.
Yeah, so anyway, I had to do like gosh, I want to say it's Mia who's on the ledge and then she falls backwards. I don't remember if it's Mia, but that fall was what I did.
Okay. Somebody remember that scene?
I haven't played the game.
Yeah.
I haven't played the game.
I
just got it today.
I watch
got it.
Twitches with people or do streams with them to watch the bits and the walkthroughs. So I've seen most of our stuff, but yeah, I haven't seen the entire game yet. So.
Yeah, it's sort of funny because I'm going, wait, did that bit make it into the game? You know, I don't know. Can I talk about that? But yeah, that was the most intense stunt that I did, and then I did some of the lichen stuff, not a lot of it, but I did a little bit of the lichen stuff.
You have any good lichen stuff with Todd? And Neil has
we were there the same day. So. No, I purely did, like, I didn't do any of the tackles. That was all. I think that was all the guys.
Okay.
Neil did some.
Yeah. Neil was there, and this guy Ari, who's fantastic, was like in the wires doing some crazy lichen stuff. Nice. Yeah, he was really, really fun to watch. No, I just did some of the creature movement as like one of the side lichens.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Well, they have a very
very
cool movement.
I like a side lichen.
Just a side lichen.
Yeah.
Let me breeze through here. David Malari, honestly, there should be a DLC for each of the 4 lords. Give them more backstory, especially Donna and Angie. I think we agree with that.
We're game if you are.
They were probably the ones who got the least amount of story behind them, I think. And the least time, it feels like. They were the shortest section, too, in my opinion. So it'd be nice to get some DLC. We want to see like maybe more of all the houses, but there are a few that need a little more love. For sure.
We would not mind giving that love should they come a-calling.
Right.
I'd be there for that. Yeah, I would definitely be there for that.
Chad, Tyronis Rex, I'm liking her stuff. Nice one.
Well played, Chad.
Victor Gibson wants to know, was there any cut dialogue from Donna or Angie? Is there anything you guys recorded that maybe didn't make it in, from what you've seen?
Oh, probably tons.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's true.
We're in there for hours. On occasion, you'll even hear stuff back and be like, wait, did I say that? Granted, it was months ago and things that didn't come out of our brain, they were on a paper.
Yeah.
Right.
So quite possible. In fact, I would put money on there were plenty that hit the editing room floor.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of great dialogue though, especially from Angie. Donna didn't have much, but Angie has so many great lines of just teasing Ethan. Just messing with him psychologically.
I remember needing a little bit of explanation sometimes on some of those because they come out of context.
Right, because you don't have the whole script. You just got your lines in that scene that you're in.
Right, and there were a couple sessions. So I remember some I had some visuals too, and I could match the video, and others, and I was like, oh, I get it now. And others, it's just sort of piecemeal, and you're like, wait, what is he doing to her cute friends? Is this what's happening? So I got some explainers, but no, it's a wild and crazy job that we have that we're lucky to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's not one of those things like on career day I would have believed you.
Yeah.
I think I'm like, okay, I know that your test says that you're supposed to go into irrigation or whatever your personality test says. They're always so off, weren't they? I was like, irrigation? What the fuck?
How do I do irrigation?
Dig ditches? I don't even know.
I really want to meet the person who's like, irrigation.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Bring
That's
it
what, and I'm sure
on,
there are people there. I'm not judging. I actually want to meet them and I want to talk to them and be like, so irrigation.
Right? Like, did you do that based on your school tests? Like, your family have irrigation assistant like company? But yeah, I remember getting like really off the mark ones of what they thought I should be. And then like one of them was like politician and then one was like actress. And I was like, I mean, maybe one of those or both or something.
Right. I can imagine all 5 foot of you in a big old excavator backhoe digging ditches out there.
Or we'll just run Angie for president. It'll be fine.
There we go. Perfect.
Somebody build them.
Wasteland Nomad did a $5 super chat. Says, what is your favorite line you did for Angie?
Oh. I probably like TikTok, your life's on the line. And running away to that. Those are pretty fun. She had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Playing and whatnot. I know I see a couple people asking for the he's awake.
Yeah, I was about to say that one.
He's awake.
And then the little
I think they just like the butt wiggle. That was just sort of a weird.
So good.
We didn't know how many joints she'd have. So I was like, so should we just go with no joints on the leg?
How hard it was not to laugh watching
scene.
Angie in that scene. I was like, no, you're serious? You just gotta pick her up and put her on your lap. It's fine. Don't move. Don't move.
I was the one of these things is not like the other. I mean, if you look around, they were all super serious and so into their characters and so grand and epic and and then there's me. I'm like, are you sure you want me to do it this way? Let's do it. Fine. And then I love watching in the playback. You have like a PA or crew member there without any of the markings, secretly huddled by our chair, like handing
a
little PVC
Angie to hold. Yeah.
Stroke as soon as I'm supposed to be jumping on her lap.
Yep. And then Jesse's great in that scene too. You and him together.
Watching him do that for the first time, because we didn't know what I didn't know what his character looked like yet. So I was like, what do you look like?
Yeah, what is this?
Because he's like just slobbering everywhere. I was like, all right, he's going there. Let's do it.
Jesse's great. To go from Lucas to Moreau is such a great transition. 2 completely opposite characters. But he killed it.
He's wonderful.
Another super chat from Metamortis. Paula and Andy, you both did a fantastic job in Village. I was wondering, what was your first reactions to seeing the characters you would be playing? Yeah, let's get into that. Did you see what they look like beforehand? Because I know there's not always concepts before.
I saw concepts before the audition.
Okay. And
I think, I saw concept. They were, early versions of.
Right.
Very early versions. But, Donna was definitely all in black with the veil. So it wasn't far off from the final product.
Okay. And did Angie look pretty much the same through, or were there any major changes that came to her?
I am trying to remember. Because like I said, when
Angie changed quite a bit.
She changed a bit. I remember it just kind of being a doll, like maybe a porcelain doll, like prettier.
Yeah.
But kind of just that eerie, glassy-eyed.
Yeah.
She had dead eyes.
Inherently scary, right? And I was like, can you just make it look like me? No, I'm kidding. No, when I first saw her in all her glory was definitely in a VO session with the playback.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. I saw early version of the animatics when we were doing the motion capture, so they could kind of see because we were trying to figure out where her arms were and legs, how they worked. But yes, when I saw her with all the detailing, wow.
You need to have
And the
an-
cosplays
yeah,
lately,
yes.
OMG, you guys are killing it.
You need to have an Angie doll. You got to get one for your collection.
I do, you know,
Put her on a shelf in
Mother's
the
Day's
back behind
passed, birthday's passed.
you.
There's some holidays coming, I think.
Right?
There's always a reason. I don't know why you think you need a special day for this.
Exactly. Another super chat from Steve Hawes says, "What was the most challenging part of your roles?"
Being still. My entire career is built on being a movement performer.
Yeah.
So
just gonna stand
playing
here?
Donna was like,
Okay.
I have to sit still and like very
Oh.
slow, deliberate
Slowly,
movements.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it is so eerie and powerful, her performance doing that,
I mean,
especially
for
having
sure.
seen her also come off of doing the creature stuff
Yeah.
a little bit prior. And then this, I was like, damn, that girl's amazing. I don't even know where my leg is half the time. And look at her. Challenging. Physically jumping up, I don't know, the stairs that were when they made them a larger proportion to capture that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that's when I kind of regretted deciding she didn't have that many joints. Because that hurt.
You gotta be
after
stiff,
a while.
kind of stiff jumping into it.
Oh gosh, yeah. And probably just that initial leap into committing when you're like, okay, don't laugh, we're just gonna do it. Okay, is always a little heart fluttery exciting. But then you're in.
Palumbo says, "I think Paula would make a great voice actor for the Bride of Chucky. Greetings from Argentina."
I feel like I've voice matched her before.
For the bride,
For something.
for
Thank you.
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly, yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah,
and she's
she
super
has
talented.
a
So
iconic
yes,
voice.
please. She does.
One of those ones that you hear her, you immediately, oh, that's Jennifer Tilly. You know her right off the bat. She's kind of got that Betty Boop voice, you know. Let's see. Wow, that Donna was supposed to fall from a tall height. Well, it wasn't Donna that was falling.
Okay.
You were. Doing
No,
the
I
stunt
was
work.
doubling one of the other actresses.
Right.
Yeah.
Magic of mocap.
Let's breeze.
Andy is everyone. She's all of us.
I actually just
Yeah.
did the entire game by myself.
It was actually
no,
me
don't
and mocap.
ever post that recording. Oh.
But the thing is, she
Yeah.
could. She could.
Definitely, to stand in for the stunt work it takes a lot to just openly put yourself through that. Without hesitation, being comfortable completely in your skills behind it without hurting yourself and just embracing the physicality of what you do. It takes a lot. That's definitely
People do hurt themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes.
I mean, how
I
often
have to
did
tell
you
you
say?
this, that stunt people are the clumsiest people I have ever met, myself included. And the joke is that we use all of our grace on screen, and we're just a disaster in real life. I've burnt myself like 3 times this week, just trying to do normal everyday things. But you tell me to fall off that 8-foot platform, done.
Got it.
As long as those cameras are rolling, I got it.
The Red F asks, did either of you have a favorite moment from acting for the game? Something that you held on to, something that really stuck with you, whether it's in your roles or outside of your roles.
I mean, gosh, getting to do a big scene with all the bosses is because it's such a solitary art. Often voice
Right.
acting, because you're
Right.
just in a booth far too often by yourself, or even mocap, it's you and one other person sometimes. So getting to do a group thing like that was magical.
And everybody in that scene is so dead on perfect.
Cool. I mean,
Maggie, Neil, everyone, Michelle. It's just
I'm
Jesse.
just picturing
killer
Maggie
cast.
standing the big pole with the
Yeah.
face shield. I'm looking at her. Oh, she's so wonderful.
Oh,
And she had
that's
heels
good.
on during this too, and it was like, oh, epic.
And then
Yeah.
Todd's just sitting there watching, getting to enjoy everyone.
Well, he was definitely in it, and he had to do a lot of running and
Oh.
jumping down
Yeah.
afterwards. So he
Todd had a big day that day.
he has no small days. He commits. I remember even just for 7 seeing his and Katie's work
Yeah.
really showed me where the bar was of for motion capture, doing any sort of action stuff. We're like, oh, we're acting like our lives are on the line and we're being faced with a PVC pipe and somebody holding it, but it's you're not seeing that. And just seeing how clearly they went there and how in it they were. It was like, well, better get up to that level. Let's do it.
Katie
So
alone.
they are inspiring.
Yeah.
As
and
was this entire group.
in 7, she didn't have as much to do as Mia in Village. Nothing as physical as 7, but her transformations in 7 from being sweet, loving wife to murderous, crazy person. Katie's got it down. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, games are great for that.
Yep.
Fun.
Matt Ruth wants to know, could Angie or Donna defeat Mother Miranda?
Oh no, he wants to know, could Angie and Donna?
And
Team
like it's a duo boss
duo.
fight.
And all the extra little dolls.
I mean, I'm fast and small. Maybe if we can get the other dolls on that in that section.
I mean, is she susceptible
to the
Thank you. Just finished. You know what? I'm just going to speak for you, Paula.
I feel you. Oh yes, the hallucinogenic flowers. I would Kado. I wonder if she's susceptible to those or not, because that could make all the difference.
Oh, that would make all the difference.
It is.
You know
true,
what?
yeah.
It's good to just lead with confidence in this business. So I'll be like, hell yeah, book that arena. Let's do it, and we'll just see where the chips fall.
Next pay-per-view, right there.
Yeah, you're talking to her soon, right? She's still stuck here in Los Angeles, so let's do it.
Yeah.
She's invited on our weekend. Oh, we haven't talked about our weekend yet.
That's true.
Ooh.
Do we want to go ahead and bring that
We
up
can
now?
tease that a little bit.
Yeah.
We have some
something big's coming from the whole almost all the whole cast, right?
Indeed. We are working on some really cool, fun things officially to be announced shortly. Working out the details, but the weekend of the 4th, 5th, and 6th, there are some really cool signings involving little groups of us. Like you'll have, I think Maggie and Neil are doing one, and you've got Maggie and the sisters doing one with Nicole and with Becca, and Andi and I are going to get together and do one, so you can get both of us to sign the same thing via Streamly. And then we're going to do on one of those days to be announced shortly, a huge group of us, like, because yay, vaccinated, woo, are going to actually get together, because we didn't get to have a wrap party or anything for, COVID. And Capcom is going to send us some really cool things to help hype it and to bless the fans with. So some cool giveaways.
That's good that they're being involved.
Stay tuned. But yeah, mark your calendars for that June 4th through 6th for some really cool stuff. And I know the Streamly shops are already open, and we're going to start adding to those. But streamly.com/ResidentEvil, you can see everybody's stuff as it goes in. Exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting.
It's awesome, Streamly. That connection was made last year. I'm so happy that you guys.
Yes,
get to do
through
that
you
now.
guys.
Yes, completely by chance too, because Dave was in. He's done some Resident Evil work. Obviously, he's in a few of the entries, whether he's side characters. He was in some of the animated movies. I didn't know he ran Streamly until he told me. He's like, "Hey, I run this thing. Do you think the guys from the convention want to join on, and maybe we could set up do sessions?" And here it is. It was epic. 10 months later, you guys are all doing these great signing sessions and getting with all the fans.
They have made it so wonderful to actually still connect to people and have chats with fans like we used to be able to do at conventions or otherwise. So I'm super thankful to Streamly. They are.
Yeah. It's a great business, smart business. He was
smart.
ahead of the curve on that one. He was smart when he started that. So this one comes from Andrea Sanchez for Andy. Have you ever been hurt doing a stunt?
I got a really big bruise once. Actually, the first stunt gig I ever did, I mean, it was a really big bruise, though. It's like a worth mentioning bruise. The first stunt job I ever did was for American Horror Story, and I was doubling Emma Roberts. If anybody's seen Coven, it's the second to last episode when Misty and Madison get in that huge fight. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but that show's like
it's been years.
Yeah, it's been around.
And Misty throws Madison into that pillar.
Right. And
that's me
taking that bump?
Me getting thrown into the pillar, and I didn't quite rotate enough in the air because I had a back pad on.
Okay.
And I was supposed to hit my back.
Right.
And I didn't quite make it, and I fell down like I was supposed to.
Yeah.
But the bottom of that pillar is square.
Ooh.
It had like a square base, and so I hit the corner with my hip, and I had a bruise from like the top of my hip down to my knee. But it was a killer battle wound for a really fun job. And I think that's the only time I've gotten hurt.
Well, that'll teach you. Yeah.
I mean, and that's not that bad. Like a bruise is not a big deal at all. But yeah, I'm pretty good about knowing my body largely from doing so much creature work. Like the things that I train are very unusual movements, which kind of like, I say I'm super clumsy, but here's the deal. I was carrying my bike down the stairs, and I've got these cement stairs outside of my
Your
apartment.
bike.
Yeah, I see it back there.
That's my bike. That's my bike. I was carrying it down the stairs, and I missed a step. And these are smooth, like painted cement stairs, and I missed a step, and it wasn't the bottom step; it was like the second to the bottom step. So you know how everything goes in slow motion, right?
Yeah.
When that happens,
Yeah.
everything goes in slow motion. All of a sudden, my stunt training kicks in, and I bring my bike in front of me. And then the first thought I had is, a rolled ankle will heal faster than a broken wrist. So I rolled my ankle just so that I would fall over my bike and not hit the cement with my wrist.
Oh, training right
Way
there.
to go,
like,
brain.
Yeah, no, it's so
mean,
funny when that
poor
stuff
ankle.
just kicks in instinctually. So I've been very fortunate. I know a lot of stunt people who have gotten hurt and not because of their own fault.
Will
but-
you train 5 and 3-year-olds by chance? Because I have some. I'm tired of them getting hurt.
Right.
Too many trips to the ER.
Yeah, doing backflips off of beds.
Well, you know what? Just get him into a parkour class as soon as you can.
Oh, he's when my oldest is in love with the little girl in his class whose parents own a parkour gym, so that should be fun. We'll just,
Exactly.
Excellent. Just an excuse, right?
he made a Valentine, and it was such a cute like
Aw.
say anything moment where it was still Zoom class time, and he was like, Naya, and I'm like, just unmute yourself, take that moment, kid. He's
Go
like,
for it.
It was
That's
so cute.
awesome. That's adorable. Palumber has a request for you, Andy. Could you say your line, "Don't leave, I can't let you"?
I can, but I will say this: when I was cast as Donna, she didn't have any lines,
Right.
and by the time they added it in, I had already done the voice of Tundra.
Oh,
So
okay.
Donna's line isn't actually mine.
Oh, so that was okay. So you're the physical.
And I don't know who did it, but
Oh,
that's not
that is
uncommon,
interesting.
particularly in motion capture, that you will have several different people doing the different
Yeah,
pieces of
right.
it. So yes, I can say it, but I don't want to take credit for
I
this
wonder.
wonderful other
that is-
woman's work.
I wonder who recorded it. Someone, I'm guessing from.
I don't
the
know,
cast,
man.
right?
It's possible they just used yours from a physical.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely could have.
They do that and tweak it sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just don't
It's
know where it
crazy.
came from.
Yeah, but you.
She's
have
also in the
stuff
baby
done.
voice with us.
I'm also in the baby.
Yeah.
Very possible.
No, and I did all of Tundra, and then if you play the mercenary mode, I did a bunch of the game sounds there
okay,
as well.
cool.
Nice. And they were like, we don't want it to be too confusing with your voice in all these different places.
Yeah, it makes sense that they add that in after the fact. It's like, well, we can grab someone who's here that's readily available instead of having to bring Andy all the way back in for it.
Yep.
And then we
Absolutely.
don't
And
wanna
especially with
confuse
all the COVID precautions.
Right.
You know, it's a whole extra cost to bring someone else in.
And Luis says, Andy is smart. I just would have broken everything on the fall.
Oh, somebody keeps asking how old I am. I'm a bajillion years old. I don't know. So.
Bajillion and a quarter.
Dinosaurs were a beast to live with, but they're gone now. So I'm not saying I did it, but I'm not saying I didn't.
Insane Humor says, quick question for both of you. Ladies, who would pair in RE8? I love American Horror Story Coven. I'm not sure what he means by pair.
Who would pair?
Are we talking like shipping, like relationship wise? I don't know what pair means.
I know. Let's see, some of them are siblings,
Yeah,
and then we're
exactly.
like adopted. But I mean, I don't even know how anatomically correct anything I am. So
Yeah.
beats me.
Angie needs her own toy line for sure.
Yeah,
But definitely Donna and Angie.
Yeah, I would like to see
I
that
mean-
come out.
Forever.
Yeah.
it's a weird self-love. That's what that is.
You know what? It's really healthy. All you need is yourself.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Everyone else is icing.
Jocelyn CE, oh my god, let me tell you, Paula performances Angie was absolutely powerfully crazy, especially those screams of Ethan stabbing her with the scissors.
So good. So I'm not gonna lie,
My
that's my
voice- my
favorite part
vocal
to
cords.
watch.
Remember those?
Yeah, she gets really upset at that point.
Yeah, I remember doing quite a few runs of that, and then them being like be angrier at it. We're like, okay, yeah. And then some were like, no, sadder. No, that. So we played it all different ways just to see what would be the best at the time. So I love seeing which ones they go with at the end. When they finally put it all together, and you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I love it. Oh, they're wizards.
Yeah, the guys that put this stuff together are so talented. The development team, the creators, the writers. There's a lot of great stuff that that they've been doing. You know, not even 8, but in 7. The carryover from other games. It's a great time to be a Resident Evil fan right now, for sure.
Yes, they put so much thought into the various layers and Easter eggs and just every little detail.
Yep.
I mean, I love going around and seeing even just like the extra place settings of extra teacups around for us. I'm like, oh, that one's Angie's. Because that one's not drunk. So like, just the thought behind it it's a lot of human hours of creativity.
You've seen a lot of, because you said you've been on people's streams, you've watched people play through Village. What did you think of the design for the house?
It's so different
right?
than the other parts of the game.
Yeah.
So it's more intimate and
very intimate.
Terrifying in a weird way, right? Like
It's-
claustrophobic-ish.
And yeah, I think Donna thinks it's cozy.
Yeah, cozy is a good word.
Yeah.
Cozy,
Like it's dark and cozy. It's like
Yeah.
a lonely kind of cozy.
It's got a great setting too.
/ wicked. Yeah.
Walking up to it with the waterfall behind it it's a great image. I immediately took a screenshot of that because it's such a cool visual.
I mean, that real estate's gonna go through the roof. Come on.
Yeah. Right? If there's anything
Location,
left.
The whole village is
location.
up for sale, guys, but I know everybody's looking to buy now. All the residents seem to be gone.
Comes furnished.
Yeah. You would think coming from the castle for the Dimitrix family, you've got the Monroe swamp area, I guess, the water area, you got the factory, but then House Benevento is so quaint in a way. It's very small, but you get in there and it's like there's doll parts everywhere, and you go to the basement, the mannequin limbs are hanging. It's such a creepy atmosphere, but it's so great.
It's a visceral, it's a weird fear that humans have of dolls, isn't it? Like it's this weird built-in thing where you have this love-hate sort of thing, just kind of naturally. But yeah, I loved that they kind of created her as this slightly more down to earth, slightly more in touch with the human side, in a way. And you know, all characters, especially villains, you have to find that one missing part of your heart or your soul that needs filling, that we all have as humans anyway. And it just happens to be that their chunk that's missing turns them to the dark side, as it were. They look to fill it with the only way that they thought they could. And so coming at it that way, it makes the character so much more delicious. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good.
It is weird that people have a fear of dolls, and I don't know where that stems from. It's so weird, like clowns.
Right?
What is it about them that's so weird?
I think it's that they're human-esque,
Right.
but they are lacking real empathy.
Yeah.
Because
And
they don't
age
have
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Each
they don't have
generation's
like a
dolls prior are really creepy. Even you're looking at Barbies from 30, 40 years ago,
Yeah.
you start to be like, oh well, that's
It's terrifying.
different feel than the new ones. So it's interesting what we could create and what we did create.
Mhm.
I don't know. Because looking at what our grandparents or great grandparents thought was charming and adorable is now like, get it away.
don't put it near me.
Oh my gosh, Siri is trying to translate this. Why are you trying, Siri? It couldn't get that. She can never understand my voice anyway. It's too high.
Let's see. I did see one here. I want to make sure I get who asked it. It's asking about bloopers. Were there any bloopers or accidents, I guess, funny things that we didn't get to see in some of the behind-the-scenes stuff?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure I fell at least once. Oh gosh. Yeah. Right. Like there didn't the stick, the Lady Dimitrescu stick, the poor crew member holding that at one point kind of.
Yep. And then everybody's eye line.
Everybody goes
starts
with
to,
it.
like, kind of I don't know. I mean, it's so technical and so many pieces moving in any sort of tape like that with that many moving parts and people.
Yeah.
That just the miracle that we were able to get complete takes it all. It's I don't remember huge ones. Do you?
I don't remember anything huge.
Ain't nothing.
You guys are so
Nobody like
professional.
none of the suits split up the back or anything or nothing.
No. I've never seen that happen. Now I want to see that happen.
No, right? Spandex can't last forever.
Right.
No, and it doesn't. There's definitely holes in those suits, but I've never seen one just split right up the back.
Well, when it does, we'll come back here
When it does, if it happens while I'm on set, I will just take photos and send them to you, Paula.
Yes.
There it
Do
is.
that.
Like, here's the moment we were talking about.
How was it reuniting?
Hand split.
How was it reuniting with your fellow cast members from Seven?
God, it was wonderful. It was great. I think, so yeah, Todd was there and then Sarah was there. I didn't think I wasn't on set with Katie. I think we did a passing one day.
Probably.
Of like, high five.
Yeah.
But she also lives not terribly far, so I get to see her at the gym and things.
Yeah. And then Jesse, of course, you got a lot. Oh, you had a lot more to do with Jesse.
Is East Coast now, so he done up and moved. Yeah, I only got the one scene with him, but it was surreal, deja vu, and wonderful. And gosh, golly, like if they want to just take a page out of American Horror Story and keep
the same cast coming back,
us, I'm game, because that is a fantastic group of talented humans that I enjoy to play with.
Definitely. So I guess we're about 5 minutes out here. We'll go ahead and start winding this down so we can let you guys get on with your day, your Sunday evenings. So I guess social media, for people who aren't following you, Paula, where can they follow you at?
I am at Paula, Paula. You can see it here actually typed in, _Rhodes, RHODES, on all the socials, on the Twitter and the Instagram and whatnot. So find me there, say hi.
Perfect.
And we love fan art. We've been sharing it. So
I love the fan art. Some beautiful work. Really cool stuff.
Inspiring.
Yeah. I'm like, I wish I could draw. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Andi, how about you? What social media?
Yeah, same. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I have a professional page on Facebook that hasn't been updated in probably like 5 years. And I'm on Twitch too. On Instagram and Twitter, I'm Andi_Norris. And on Twitch, I'm Andi Awesome.
Okay.
We're both underscores. High five.
So go check out Andi's streams. Make sure you follow both of them on social media. And Streamly. Check out streamly.com/Resident Evil, or go to your name specifically, Paula Rhodes or Andi Norris, to see what you guys have on there to be signed and everything. And then
mark your calendars for that June 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yes.
Yep.
Come
Put it
join
on the
us.
calendar. Keep it in the back of your mind. So in about 2 weeks here. And then go get your autographs, hang out, send some cool stuff, send your fan art, because I want to see that too. So.
Yeah, it's some really good stuff.
Tell you what, it's gonna be. I hope the artists can change the world. So here's hoping they do some good stuff.
For sure.
It was great to see you and talk to you too.
I know. I love having you on here. It's so much fun.
It was really great to meet you. Thank you for bringing me on.
Definitely, Andi. I'm so glad we got you on here. It's good. Welcome to the family, Andi.
Thank you. I'm so happy. This is so marvelous.
And Paula, we love you. Thank you for coming back on here. Great work, both of you. Such an enjoyable game, enjoyable parts for your characters. And I think most people can say that they love Angie, and Tundra has a lot of mystery that we want to see answered, hopefully, in coming entries.
Let's hope.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything, you can shoot them over Instagram or Twitter to both of them. I'm sure you guys will take the time to answer a couple. If I didn't get to your questions in here, there's a lot that came through that I didn't get to ask. So make sure you go ahead and ask them. Go check out the signings. Follow them on social media. Go watch Andi's streams. And again, thank you guys so much for joining. And ladies, any final thoughts for the fans?
Just keep kicking tail, or keep playing, because I'm pretty sure that eventually Angie and Donna are going to win. That's how it works, right?
Right.
At some point. You know what? I bet Angie and Donna will win when I play. Because I am that bad. And also, if you want to see me be that bad, I'm playing Wednesday night.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
And I've never lasted more than an hour in a first-person shooter, so this should be real good.
Oh, great.
I promise.
That'd be fun to watch. Go check out Andi's stream on Wednesday and watch her play through Village for her first time.
Watch me spend 2 hours trying to kill the first monster.
Right.
Really what this is gonna be.
Go like Minecraft, just like chop at them.
Just
A Resident Evil Minecraft would be fun. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Don't tell my 5-year-old.
It's gonna be more like, wait, what does each button do? I don't remember what the buttons do.
All right, well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more from the Residents of Evil.